activity. I told you that you can take a concession and be engaged in an illegal activity. So that clearly is an illegal activity. And when I was there, I confiscated or abrogated or terminated permits on that basis, on the basis that people are taking the concessions and they were parceling it out for small-scale mining. Now, so I heard Akonta mining making claims that they don't do that. First of all, it is important for us to determine what is the nature of the license that was given to Akonta mining in the forest reserve, a Abo or Ware Forest Reserve. Was it reconnaissance license? Was it a prospecting license? Or was it a mining license? Now, when you treat these three separate permits in the same way, you will be missing out on the duty and responsibility of the licensee on the concession. Because if you are just doing a reconnaissance license, and because it's a forest area, I'm tempted to believe that it is either a reconnaissance license or a prospecting license. So reconnaissance license, you go there, you want to see whether the period that you have been given has prospects. You dig one or two holes here and there. You don't destroy the environment. You take samples and analyze the samples and see whether that area is interesting. Does it hold prospects? And then, because it's an investment, if after taking the samples at various areas, you come to the conclusion that, oh no, you don't think that area holds prospects, you will not have damaged the environment. In fact, somebody going into the mine will not even know that anything has happened, or the forest will not even know that anything has happened. But if after taking the prospecting license, and that's the first license that you take, reconnaissance license, that's the first permit that you take, you come to, and that is for a determined period of time. You can't take it in ad infinitum. It's for a determined period of time. Now, when you do your reconnaissance and come to the conclusion that you want to further do some exploratory work in the forest, you go for a prospecting license. That will make you do detailed work and see the concentration of the deposits in the forest, whether they hold commercial prospects. That might involve small disturbances in the forest, but that disturbance will not be such that it can cause an environmental damage to the ecology of the forest. So you dig here and there, determine the concentration, the quality of the gold, how far it is, and all those things. It is only when you determine through your prospecting activities within a reasonable time, I think that is within 2 years, and come to the conclusion that that area is so interesting, so valuable, that you are applying for a mining license, and that offers the state an opportunity to do a cost-benefit analysis, whether in view of the role and function of the forest and the gold deposits that are there. We can do a cost-benefit analysis and come to a conclusion that it will be more beneficial to take the gold than to keep the forest. Then that decision, when it is made, it can either give you the license or say that, no, we like the forest more than what you are going to do. We won't get any benefit from your gold. and they will leave the forest standing. So that is why I say that it is important, first of all, to determine what was the license that was given to Akonta. Akonta might want to argue, I have a permit, I have a permit. What is the nature of the permit? Now, two, so if your permit is prospecting, and the prospecting activity or reconnaissance and the reconnaissance activities have been clearly indicated, your license only allows you to do those activities that are permissible by the license. If you do any activity in contravention of the conditions under which your license was given, you are engaged in illegality and your license can be withdrawn. That is what the Minerals and Mining Act says. Or if you were given a prospecting license upon a set of conditions detailing what you will do, and you go and do things not permissible by your or permitted by your license, you have violated the terms of your license, and your license can be withdrawn. So we need to understand the nature of the permit that was given to Akonta.
But in this case, they are suggesting that if your problem is with the Tano Nimri Forest Reserve, they've never been there. They've never entered, they've never mined in there.
Well, and they think that the state agencies that are saying that they mine there are not speaking the truth. And the NDC government under John Dramani Mahama did not come out with this story. The story came to the fore during the time John Abu Jinapo was at the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry. They are even caused to believe that Akonta mining was engaged in an illegality and wrote stopping them from continuing to engage in those illegal activities in the Tenonimra forest. What gave the minister the confidence to believe that Akonta mining was engaged in an illegality? So there are many questions for Akonta mining to answer.
Because the attempt to answer many of the questions, maybe predict some of these questions and respond to them. One of them is that, how can you blame us for whatever happens in the forest reserve? We are not responsible for a forest reserve. Go to the Forestry Commission, speak to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Why blame us? They are right, are they not?
First of all, there's no vicarious responsibility for the commission of a crime. Simply put, if we find somebody committing a crime, we arrest that person. It doesn't matter that that person is saying that it is another person who sent him to go and commit that crime. So, if we find Akonta mining in the forest reserve, it is Akonta mining we will arrest. It doesn't matter that they were given permission by the Minerals Commission or the Environmental Protection Agency or the Forestry Commission. We have taken a stance against mining in forest reserve, but we have seen Akonta mining in the forest reserve. That's all. Now, the rule of licenses and the burden of proof is that when a person is mining in the forest reserve, pursuant to a license, and that person is arrested, that person, in this case, the company, has the burden of proof that they are there legally. They have the burden of proof, and not the Forestry Commission. It's like if someone is selling aquatic in a kiosk, and there is a ban on the sale of aquatic, and law enforcement agencies go to the kiosk. It is not the law enforcement agency or the district assembly that has a burden to prove that that person is selling the akpatisi legally. It is the akpatisi seller who has the burden to prove that he is doing what he is doing legally before the law enforcement agencies. I think that should be very clear to Akonta mining.
Because if you read their statement, point 10 they make is that the decision by the minister to publicly accuse us and call for the revocation of our license without any investigation or hearing is not just unfair. It is a clear breach of natural justice and a politically motivated act. They are even suggesting that they are being targeted because of the...
What I'm saying is simple, Senna. Akonta forest has been seen mining in the forest.
Mm-hmm. Which they deny.
Engage in activities which the minister believes is contrary to the express terms under which the license was given to them. The minister has cause and power under the Minerals and Mining Act to revoke the license given to Akonta Mining. No matter the kind of license, whether it was reconnaissance license, prospecting license, or mining license, or mining lease. If the activities of Akonta Mining are contrary to the express provisions of the or conditions under which the license was granted, the minister has power to revoke, and that is found in the law. So the minister says that there's a prima facie case, and we're talking about prima facie, it's just like the CG also. So the minister has determined that there's a prima facie case that Akonta Mining is engaged in an illegality and has revoked the license. It is for Akonta Mining. The burden is on Akonta Mining to show that they are not doing anything illegal. So they should stop issuing press conferences and meet the minister with the license and documents and evidence that shows that they are not in any illegal activity.